This is Satan with the Corpsepaint Show. We're here with Sin from Ministry and Lords of Acid. Praga Khan, welcome back to Dallas. Lords of, Lords of Acid. Marieke and Marieke from A Circle Unbroken and Lords of Acid. And welcome to Dallas, guys. We're so glad you're here. Let me start with you, Praga. You hold that. All right. So we're glad you're back. The new album is crowdfunded, and I see all those people lining up right now to come see you. We support your band, and we're very supportive of the new album. And I like specific tracks on it. We Are the Freaks, Pablo Escobar. That one is a tease to me. So, how do you feel? Did the album come out as you expected it to? Is the sound there that you wanted?
Yes, for me the most important thing was to that it was a collaboration between the fans and the band. You know, so they were involved from the first minute. You know, with the crowdfunding, and then we also put up a lot of polls. Like gave him a lot of questions. What's your favorite Lords of Acid album? What's your favorite Lords of Acid track? What would be a good subject to write about for new songs? And they even came up with the album title. So for us, that was the most important thing. It was like a collaboration between the fans, and they all seem to love the album. Everybody is really happy with the result, and so are we. For me, it's like that we made the bridge between Lost and today. You know, it's like, yeah,
Yep.
that's the most important
You've
thing.
got great musicians on this tour.
Mhm.
And one of them is to your right, and that's Sin from Ministry. Welcome back to Dallas, too.
Thank you very much.
And we're glad you're here in Deep Ellum. We call it the entertainment capital of Texas. And I know we're expecting a lot of sexual energy, a lot of excitement. Do American audiences always get dark humor? That is, it seems like in every show.
I think so. And believe it or not, Americans, for me, you know, they're like real music lovers. They know a lot about music. They know a lot about your back catalog and all that, and that's really amazing. When you come here as an artist, they start talking about the first album, the solo projects, the side projects. So that's what I really like. They're diehard fans, and they following me like over the last 25, 30 years. And the most important thing is also when you can meet the fans, like in real life, you know, and then you can talk about music with these guys who've been listening to your music for so long. And that also gives me the energy to go back into the studio and create new work, you know. Yeah.
Let me ask Sin this. Is the best night when the audience is there and they just start moving and giving you energy from the first note?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, we feed off the crowd. Um, it's tough some nights, when let's say the crowd maybe isn't as energetic as other nights because it does affect us in a certain way. We still have to go up and give 1,000%, whether there's 5 people out there or 5,000 people. We still go up and do our thing. But when we are getting that energy and that sort of feedback from the crowd, it's just like this give and take. It's just this constant cycle. And clearly, when we walk out, there's some nights where they're just going ballistic as soon as we hit the stage, and you feel it. You feel the electricity, and that's at least for me, and I'm sure for the other guys as well. That's part of the high of being on stage. Is that you don't get that kind of feeling anywhere else. Right. That's the best to me. That's the best feeling in the world. So.
Is it hard to come down off of after the show?
I mean, personally, for me, it takes a few hours, excuse me, for me to actually come down from that. After I get off stage, that high lingers for hours for me. And sometimes the bigger the crowds, or the crazier the shows, the longer that lasts. So yeah, it definitely does take some time to come down from that.
You're going from a loud, crazy environment, get back on the quiet bus.
Yeah.
Wow, what a change.
It is. It's a big change. Big time. And I mean, we've all been doing this a long time. So I think that we know that adjustment is there. My first tours, it was weird because you went from touring and, getting all this adulation from people, and then it stops. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, nobody's telling me I'm great anymore. And like, no one's clapping when I walk out, when I walk somewhere. It's a weird dynamic, and it's something that you actually have to get used to. My first tours, I almost went into a depression after tour because I didn't know like how to separate. I didn't know what was happening because you go from this constant high to just everything stopping. And it does kind of mess with your head a little bit, but the more you tour, the more you get used to that, and the more it becomes normal, and you kind of expect, okay, there's going to be a little low point here, but this is all part of it, and it's normal. So, yeah.
Marieke, all right. How many of your boyfriends will we see on stage? Like Leroy here. He is very excited.
Leroy is our best friend. No, actually, there will be Saxball Manny on stage, and we hope to see a lot of dolls in the audience. And yeah, so I think
fans bring dolls.
Absolutely, they bring a shitload of dolls to the bus. They blow them up, and they make them crowd surf during our performances, and it's just so fun to watch and so great that people are really involved and actually bringing us what we're asked for. Like in the live streams, we've been asking for these dolls because the more the merrier. So
why do people have trouble talking about sex?
I don't know. I don't get it.
We want to see it on stage
It's
with
great.
you guys, but we want it all the time anyway. So
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, a lot of dolls.
look, you've got a great package on this tour. Gabriel and the Apocalypse, Jenna Torturers, Little Miss Nasty, Orgy. Are these some bands that you're newly discovering?
Now, Orgy I've been listening to for a couple of years, so that's really cool that they were joining this tour. And with the other bands, I wasn't familiar, but I've watched almost every show of them every night. They get me pumped up, and I think they're doing an amazing job. And they got the crowd really started, so yeah.
So where do you watch? Do you try and just watch from the back, watch from
Well,
the backstage?
Sometimes from like side stage, but I like going in there in the crowd, find a little corner,
I'm gonna look for
have a drink, and just get pumped up when I see them play. I'm like, oh, I want to be on stage as well. So that's how I get ready, kind of.
So they whip up the audience for you.
Yeah,
Those are
absolutely.
four great bands.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, by the end of the night, people are tired. It's a long night of partying and energy.
the new album is Pretty in Kink,
Yes.
and so I'm sure you're singing lots of songs off of that.
Yeah.
This is kind of the end of the tour. How are you doing? You're belting it out every night.
Yeah, well, I'm having a little trouble with some allergics here and there, but it's been okay. I'm trying to take care of myself and get 6-7 hours of sleep every night. Drink a lot of water, and yeah, it's been okay. I've been holding on pretty well. So, and the adrenaline keeps me going. So every time I go on stage, I just go for it, do whatever I can, try to be in the moment as much as possible, give it my all every night. So.
Do you like the American audiences?
I love them. I fell in love with America. Absolutely. You guys are crazy.
and we're collectors of albums, and like you were saying. Too,
You're so passionate, and that's what I miss. And sometimes in Europe, like people aren't that involved or passionate. Your music is your life and your lifestyle. And I think a lot of people in Europe are brain dead or not as passionate about it when it comes to music. So it's great to see that, there are people who have a heart in music, and that's beautiful.
Yes, and sometimes they carry it all with them. And they can't sign it. That night,
Yes.
Right, Praga?
Yeah.
You have a lot of great deep influences. Are you an opera or classical music background?
I studied musical theater. I went to art school, and it's more classically than it was rock or anything else. But I studied also jazz and blues, classical, rock, hard rock, anything. I try not to think in boxes, and like my voice, I think it's nice to explore different genres, like in any instrument. It's not, I don't just want to sing metal or industrial or whatever. because that's boring. I think there's so much good music out there, and I want to be able to do it because it gives you a high when like, oh my God, I reached that note that I couldn't reach like a year ago. So it's nice to develop your voice and make the vocal cords stronger. And
Yeah. Praga, I've heard you say that you're interested in maybe acoustic versions of some of your top songs.
Yeah, yeah. It's when we're gonna be back in Europe, then we're gonna start working on it
Oh.
because there's a lot of people who like the idea, and I think that we have great songs with Lords of Acid, and that people are gonna be really surprised when they're gonna hear it. These songs in acoustic versions. Yeah, in an acoustic version. And we even have already have a title. Sin came up with the title.
Sin, what is?
It's called Unbutt Plugged. That will be the name of the album.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
does this guy have a butt plug? Or
I think
No, there's
he's
nothing
already
there.
he's already unbutt plugged.
unbutt plug?
it looks pretty plugged to me though.
You're traveling to Austin next, then I think Oklahoma. You're kind of at the end of this tour. Does it feel good? Everything's been going great. Wild
Yeah.
crowds every night.
It's been amazing this tour because we're surrounded by professional people, and also with the other bands we have a very good how do you say it?
Connection.
It's good camaraderie between all the bands. The packages run smoothly. Sometimes with so many bands on a bill, it can be difficult to pull off. But luckily, everyone gets along. All the bands, between all the bands and all the crews, everyone gets along great. So everything's been running real smooth. Yeah.
Will we see nipple tape?
On me,
Yeah.
I got that.
I have it on now. Praga and I both have nipple tape on us now. We're using this one piece.
Oh, you will see some nipple tape. Oh, you will see some.
Okay, very good. I'm a stilt walker myself. So next time you
Nice.
come through town, let's talk in advance, and
Mhm.
I'd like to help out on the stage.
Ooh,
Cool.
that would be
Oh.
awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we're the Corpsepaint Show. We appreciate you guys very much. Is there anything else that I haven't touched on that needs to be said, Praga?
That needs to be said. Yes, we are also planning, not for next year, but the year after that, to come back to America with the doubles show. You know, like we did in 2000 and 2002, like the double bill Praga Khan and Lords of Acid.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because most of the people who love Lords of Acid, they also know the solo material, but they never get the chance to listen to it live, you know. And that's why we decided that's got to be the next thing that we got to do, you know.
Now, on the website, I saw you've got a great box set of all that solo material.
Hmm.
That's front and center. I like that. It's a good website.
Yes, it's the Cantology box, and it has all 9 Praga Khan full albums. So and a DVD, live DVD that was recorded in Brussels and Chamberlain. Yeah,
Very good. I hope we can connect again when you come back to town.
we will.
Thank you guys very much.
Definitely.
Thank you. Thanks
Very
for
good.
thanks for having us.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
And that's Joe, our camera guy. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.